What a week it's been for DC movies and even DC TV for that matter. In a matter of days, we got the announcement that The Flash Season 9 will be the final season of the show, and that spells the end of the Arrowverse Earth Prime. Then we got the even more shocking news that Warner Bros. Discovery have now decided to cancel the upcoming Batgirl movie starring Leslie Grace, even though the movie was basically almost finished. They had finished shooting the whole movie and everything. And even more reports came out after this news saying that the planned Supergirl movie will likely be scrapped according to WB insiders. So what's going on? Why is WB doing this great big U-turn on DC, and what does this mean on the return of the Snyderverse? Or if not, then what is it that DC has planned? Well, during the Warner Bros. Discovery Q2 earnings call, CEO David Zaslav revealed that DC is at the top of their list of its plans moving forward as they attempt to mirror Marvel Studios' methods. I'm now going to read a fairly long quote said by David Zaslav regarding the future of DC. And he said, and I quote, "As we look at the opportunities that we have broadly, DC is at the top of the list for us. You look at Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, and Aquaman. These are brands that are known everywhere in the world, and the ability to drive those all over the world with great stories is a big opportunity for us. We have done a reset. We've restructured the business where we're going to focus. It will be a team with a 10-year plan focusing just on DC. It's very similar to the structure that Alan Horn and Bob Iger put together very effectively with Kevin Feige at Disney. We think that we can build a long-term, much stronger, sustainable growth business out of DC. And as a part of that, we're going to be focusing on quality. We're not going to release any film before it's ready. We're not going to release a film to make a quarter. The focus is going to be how do we make these films in general as good as possible. But DC is something that we think we can make better, and we're focusing on it right now." End quote. There's a lot to dissect here from what David said, but one of the most important things we've learned over the past few days following all these recent cancellations is that DC, like Marvel, is being made into its own studio where Warner Bros. Will apparently have a 10-year plan. So what is this 10-year plan that Warner Bros. Has for DC? We know nothing about it at the moment, so we can only speculate. But based on David's comments and the actions Warner Bros. Have taken to cancel their previous plans for the DCEU, I can see only two possible scenarios to how this is going to play out. I think that minus the upcoming Joker and the Batman sequels, we can rule out the possibility of more characters getting standalone movies, simply because it's clear that DC are trying to emulate the MCU, especially after it was said that their 10-year plan is similar to how things are done over at Marvel Studios. And as we know, all of Marvel Studios' projects are part of a larger shared universe called the MCU. So the first scenario to how this 10-year plan will play out is that DC will be rebooting the DCEU completely to start all over again from scratch. And if they go down this route, then I can honestly see them building a larger DC universe out of Matt Reeves' The Batman universe. I know initially Matt Reeves didn't want to build a larger world outside of the Batman mythos for his movies, but at the end of the day, Warner Brothers are the ones in charge. So if they want to make the Batman the spearhead for a shared universe, then that's exactly what they're going to do. But the question is, what happens to Gal Gadot's Wonder Woman or Jason Momoa's Aquaman, for example? Will those characters be recast completely in this new shared universe, or will they do something similar to what Marvel are doing with Daredevil and Charlie Cox, where you take the same actor who has played the character previously and just soft reboot him or her to fit into this new world? And the second scenario that I can see them taking is that they just continue on from where Zack Snyder left off and just focus on making the currently already established DCEU better in quality. Because one of the key things mentioned in David's quote was that they're prioritizing quality over quantity for the DC movies. The majority of the first few DCEU movies had mixed receptions from the audience, and in David and Warner Brothers' eyes, mixed receptions is exactly the kind of thing that they want to steer away from. Hence why I don't think they'll bring back Zack Snyder for this new future, just because of how the general public had perceived his vision for DC in the past. But don't get me wrong, I'm a big fan of Zack Snyder's Justice League and the Batman v Superman Ultimate Edition. I will welcome the return of the Snyderverse, and it's possible that we could still see the return of it, but at the same time, I won't be surprised if this doesn't happen either. I'm going to repeat a small section of the quote from David I read out earlier, which said, and I quote, "You look at Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, and Aquaman. These are brands that are known everywhere in the world, and the ability to drive all those all over the world with great stories is a big opportunity for us." I wanted to bring this back up specifically because from this particular part, it's clear what he sees as DC's biggest assets and will certainly be the main driving forces of this new 10-year plan. Those being, of course, Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, and Aquaman. First three are obvious ones, but I believe that the reason why they now see Aquaman as one of the DC's biggest assets is because of the box office success the first Aquaman movie did, which made just over $1 billion. Whether this means that we're only going to get movies centered around these four characters, or these four characters will just be the faces of DC with other characters also getting movies in the future remains to be seen. But let me know in the comments down below what you guys think of this new 10-year DC plan. Would you rather have the likes of Batgirl and Supergirl come back to us, or are you on board with whatever DC has in store for us? For me personally, I'm a bit cautiously optimistic. I'm very interested to see how this is going to play out. I believe that they might start putting out even better movies than what we got before. Like I said, I loved Zack Snyder's Justice League and Batman v Superman, the Ultimate Edition. I love James Gunn's The Suicide Squad. So they had put out quality in the past, but I believe, based on these comments, that we're in store for even better things. But let me know down below in the comments your thoughts. If you like this video, give this video a big thumbs up. Share this video with your friends. Subscribe to the channel if you're new, and I'll see you guys later for more videos.